In my 40 years on this earth, I have experienced a lot that has shaped me into the person I am today, a person I am proud to be. When it comes to my past, if asked, I have no problem sharing, being honest about where I come from, how I was raised, and who I've been at every stage of my life. I feel no shame or regret for what I have lived and who it has made me. However, I am aware that my in-laws view me as less than them because of these things. Carla, Catherine and Janet use judgment and shame to try and make others comply with what they deem to be the right way to live your life. I, personally, do not respond well to that type of treatment and try not to shame or judge others. Unlike my in-laws, I believe that neither I nor anyone else is superior to others. I believe that most people are doing the best they can with the circumstances they have, and when they know better, they do better. Those are the overcomers, the cycle breakers, the world changers. The inability to use shame to manipulate or control me has us where we are today. We chose to move 13 hours away from everyone we knew. This upset my mother-in-law because we did not include her in our decision. Shortly after the move, we got rid of our Facebook pages and took a break from social media. This was very beneficial for us as a family. Sadly, it also allowed for the family I married into to tell stories and spin whatever narrative they wanted to about us, happily living my life, and rarely ever thinking of them. I failed to realize they were preparing to destroy my entire world. Picture it kind of like an ambush scene in an old movie. They waited in a dark forest, hiding and plotting, waiting for a time when we were vulnerable and would be helpless against the attack. In 2020, we set out on an adventure to explore unknown territory. We came upon a thick dark forest with no clear path. Surprised by the unexpected terrain, we still confidently forged ahead, making our own paths through the forest. The trees and brush got thicker as we continued to walk, making each step more difficult, but we kept going. After days of powering through the forest, we were completely exhausted and could not continue on. We made camp to rest and tend to our wounds. This was the moment they had waited for. Hidden by the trees and darkness of night, they stepped out into the clearing, took aim at us and fired their weapon. As we both felt the bullet hit us and knock us to the ground, they began to arrogantly celebrate what they hoped was a fatal wound. Slowly, I pick myself up out of the dirt and get steady on my feet. I turn and face them, letting them know it was just a graze. But the woman they knew, that woman, she is gone. She has lost everything she cared about in this world. The woman I became in those moments will not be passive and forgiving. Instead, she will go down in a blaze of glory. The following is a summary of part of my life. It will take multiple videos to share everything, but I'm working on it. Part number 1. Tell lies about me and I'll tell the truth about you. It's no secret that I'm not the type of girl that they wanted Micah to marry. In fact, it was clear from the first time I met his parents that they did not approve of me. The reason given was, you guys come from completely different backgrounds and were raised so differently. I don't see how it could ever work. At times, I'll be honest, it did make me sad that I wasn't viewed as an exciting addition to the family, but their disapproval did not deter Micah a bit. His response was to tell me that we should head to Vegas and get married. I felt so many things in that moment: sadness that I didn't measure up, flattery because he did not care about their opinions, and fear because, like I told him, your mum and sisters will never forgive us if they aren't at your wedding. I don't want them to hate me for that. Turns out I was right. His parents tried to get us to put off getting married by making promises of having a wedding for us once the timeshare was paid up. We responded with a no thank you. We did not end up marrying in Las Vegas as we had discussed. While planning the trip to Vegas, we decided to stop in Utah. I had always wanted to see where I was born, so he called his family there. He was also born in Utah. He told them we would be passing through and would love to visit for a day if they would have us. They were very welcoming and excited for us to visit. When they asked why we were coming their way, he told them. Without hesitation, his aunt said, "You don't need to get married in Vegas. We will have a wedding here for you." We were not expecting that and felt like it was God showing us that even if those closest to us would not celebrate us, that there were people who would. A community of people that did not know anything about me welcomed me with open arms and came together to give us a wedding in 3 days. Micah's aunt did so much for us and seemed genuinely happy to do it. His cousin made us a beautiful and very delicious wedding cake. A group of little girls that were Micah's second cousins eagerly helped with my train as I walked over to the sanctuary to become his wife. Micah's sweet grandfather, who, next to Micah, has the most beautiful smile I have ever seen, walked me down the aisle to become his wife as our song played, "God Bless the Broken Road." Multiple family members took photos for us, capturing every moment. Quite a few people made the drive from Nevada with only a 2-day notice because they wanted to be there to celebrate with us. I don't remember any of them treating me any different after finding out I came from a teenage mum who had 3 kids by the age of 21, that I had never met. My father and my mum had never been married. From what I recall, we spoke with his aunt and his grandparents about everything from how Micah and I met. I was a bartender in a local bar, and Micah came in and experienced what some might call love at first sight. We now know it is much deeper than that. It is a soul recognizing another soul that they never knew they were missing, but automatically know completes them. We also shared about my experiences being in and out of foster care and how my mum got her priorities straight and got us back both times. How she did it all as a child herself without any child support or any fathers showing up to father either of my little brothers consistently. This is quite a contrast to how my husband was brought up. Micah was born at home and raised in a religious community in the Utah desert. They practice communal living and structure their entire lives around what they believe God has commanded. I did not grow up in a religious household and was actually very turned off by the church when I was 8 years old. I was told that I had a demon inside me. I had epilepsy that started at age 2, so according to the Bible and the leaders of the church, I had a demon in me and needed to repent. Even at such a young age, I knew how ridiculous that was to believe about a child, let alone to say to a child. I rarely attended after that, and completely stopped going when I was 10 years old based on more ridiculous things I was told by leadership. Even with all that, I have always had a very close relationship with God, and if asked, I have no problem sharing who I believe God is and what I believe to be true about him. It's not what most churchgoers believe. My in-laws find their identity in these things and they live in an echo chamber. I'm sure it was frustrating to suddenly have a new member of the family that had independent thoughts and felt comfortable questioning a lot of their foundational beliefs. When asked about my career goals, I shared what I had wanted to be as far back as I can remember: a wife and a mother. His family did not see that as high aspirations, but I knew it was what I was made for. I didn't just want to be a wife and mother. I wanted to be the best wife and mother possible. A person that others knew was a safe and loving place to come to no matter what. I was happy and excited to spend every day for as long as I could around the people I love most. When I shared that with his mum and sister, they responded with a laugh while saying, "Oh, just wait until insert complaint about husband and or child, you'll be happy to get rid of them." My response was usually, "I hope not." So as you can see, I came with a lot of baggage as well as a confidence that did not allow others to shame or manipulate me. I think that was the true reason that I was unacceptable. I could not be guilted or pressured into anything that I did not want to do. If you know anything about narcissists, that is how they control the people around them. Since I've joined a religious family, I've learned that some people behave one way in public and vastly different in private. Publicly pretending to be positive and kind people, but I quickly learned they don't actually like it when you're optimistic about the future, and they are annoyed by anyone who is genuinely positive, especially while they are sharing their views or regrets about marriage or parenthood. I wouldn't judge or say anything negative, I would just say I don't receive that. We did not try to argue our belief or invalidate what they believed to be true. I accepted them like I had hoped to be accepted, no matter how different we were. Part number 2 coming soon.